Hey guys, welcome to Shadow School Studios. It's Raven Wolf. We're going to be going over some of the MERS at Karlov Manor. And, spoilers coming out. That's coming out in 2 weeks, I believe. So yeah, let's go ahead and look into it. First, we have Delnay, Streetwise Lookout. We have creatures you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. If an ability of creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, it triggers an additional time. Immediately what I'm thinking with this is you do it in cards with the attack triggers like Ishin. Because of a lot of that, or if you have like Soul Sisters or something like that. Like this going wide with a life gain token deck, I think would be pretty good. Next, we're going to do Intrude the Mind. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and separate them into 2 piles. An opponent chooses one of those piles, put in your hand, and the other in your graveyard. Create a colorless 0/0 Thopter with a 1/1 counter on it for each card in your graveyard this way. So it is a better fact or fiction. I get it's expensive, but you can get a big Thopter or you get a good amount of cards. So, except you make the piles and the opponent has to choose. So I will say it's an interesting card. It doesn't need to be a mythic. That card should only be a rare. Master Girl. This one I'm really excited about. Known Killer. Minutes. Creatures you control have Wither. Wither I really like. I wish they would bring more of it back. When a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card. Basically, Infect, Wither, any minus abilities, Master Girl will be freaking busted in. So you're going to be drawing a lot of cards. I'm going to definitely get a copy of her for my mono black deck. We have Expedited Inheritance. When a creature is dealt damage, its controller may exile that many cards from the top of their library. They may play those cards until the end of their turn. So, Expedited Inheritance is kind of a double-edged sword, because it's kind of a hugs card, but it kind of accelerates them and forces them to play the cards that they exile. So it kind of messes with it. Undergrowth Recon, being your upkeep, return target land card from graveyard to battlefield taps. Pretty cut and simple, graveyard recursion. We have Aurelia's Vindicator. This one looks really cool. Flying Lifelink Ward 2, Disguise. Indicator, turn face up, exile up to X art cards from the battlefield and our creature cards from the graveyard. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exile cards to the owner's hand. So it's kind of like a... What's that angel that ETBs, exiles 3 things, or 3 things from graveyards? It's basically a better version of that, because it can be a mana sink. Conspiracy Unraveler. Flying, you collect evidence 10 rather than pay mana cost for the spells you cast. You collect evidence 10, exile cards total mana value 10 or greater from your graveyard. Oh, it's like Delve, but instead of 1, you're using the actual mana value. You're exiling it from the graveyard, though. I don't know. Collect Evidence's ability, I don't think I will ever really break. Vein Ripper. Flying. Ward. Sacrifice a creature. When a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. So this is a better Blood Artist. It's another Death Aristocrat. Things like that. For 6 mana, I will say it's pretty good. I'll say it's balanced at 6 mana. If it was 5 mana, I think it'd be busted. Incinerator of the Guilty. Flying Trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, collect evidence X. When you do, it deals X damage to each creature and each planar walker the player controls. Mono Red doesn't have a lot of dragon recursion, I would say. So this is a worse Balefire dragon, is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to put it in the meh. It should be a rare, not a mythic. But yeah, so far I think this should be a rare, that should be a rare, and that should be a rare, and not mythics. We have Turtle, Crocodile, Elk, whatever. XLS total toughness creatures you control, so you're going to get it out super fast. Defender, Creature control gets small so once creatures come into player, draw cards equal to its toughness, and basically it's gonna go in the wall deck, the defender deck, all that type of stuff. 10th District Hero. Collect evidence. Becomes a human detective for 4 vigilance. Collect evidence 4. If it's a detective, is a legendary creature named Maliva. The Stalwart is base power, toughness 5/5. Other creature you control have indestructible. So 10th District Hero is that 10th District, like, defender type of that story of cards. And I guess now she's a detective. That, yeah, and you actually get a name. Too bad she's not an actual legendary creature, so you can make her a commander with all copies of her in there. That'd be really fun. Reenact the crime. Exile target island permanent in a graveyard that was put there from anywhere this turn. Copy it. You cast copy without paying a mana cost. Sorry for yawning. I've been up for almost 24 hours, guys, so I'm gonna be really tired. And I've already missed a video because I had to hang out with some stuff today, so it's just I'm just built up. Reenact the crime, I think is pretty good for a rare. I kind of wish you could cast it something from the graveyard, from like your opponents or whatever. Yeah, but it had to be put that turn. Yeah, it should say just cast the thing from the graveyard. Outrageous robbery. Target opponent exiles top X cards of their library face down. You may look at it and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may use mana. So it's another steal your card thing, just like Reenact the Crime. It'd be really good in that Vampire Pirate. But yeah. This is a very... I don't know. Outrageous Robbery, I think, is too good. That one should have been a Mythic instead of the Vampire Assassin. This card is going to be ruining a lot of decks. It is going to tear some stuff up. Anzrag Rampage. Destroy all artifacts you don't control. The exile top X cards your library, where X is the number of artifacts. Put a creature card exiled this way on the battlefield. So you get one, return... Gain taste, return to your hand to begin the end step. So you exile a part of your deck and you only get one creature and the other stuff isn't shuffled. Yeah, I don't know. This is a mess. This is not a great card. It should be an uncommon with its power. I don't know. Some of the rarity balancing is not great. Hide in plain sight. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Cloak 2 of them and put the rest in a ball in random order. Cloak Ward 2. Alright, so Cloak is basically a kind of morph, but you're basically morphing something face down. So yeah, you flip it for its mana cost. You're manifesting, but you're giving it Ward 2. That's okay. Doorkeeper Thrall. Artifacts, creatures in battle don't cause abilities to trigger. It's a Hushbringer. Coveted Falcon. Ooh, I like that. When attacks can control trigger permanent you own but don't control. Disguise. When it's turned face up, target opponent gains control of any number of target permanents you control. Draw a card for each one they gain control of this way. Okay, so it's kind of a... For each they gained... Target opponents get any number of target permanents you control. Okay, so it's kind of like Zerdu, the give your crap away commander. Alright, we're going to do a deadly cover-up. Collect event 6. So you're going to have to exile a bunch of stuff. Destroy X creatures. X was collected. Exile a card from an opponent's graveyard. Then exile its orders. Basically, if you're playing commander, this gets rid of Relentless Rats, Shadowborn Apostle, the Petitioners, and what else? The Dragon's Breach cards. Destroy all creatures that miss a extra card from opponent's graveyard. Yeah. And then it's also a board wipe. Evidence, does it have to be from your graveyard? from your graveyard. So yeah, if you want to stop Relentless Rats, it's still a 5 mana blow everything up, so it's not too bad. Krinko's Buzz Crusher in his battlefield. For each player, draw trade up to one basic land card that the player controls. For each basic land shorts away its controller's to the library for a basic land card, puts it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. If you do a Rakdos deck, just run a... What's the card called? I forget the name of it. The one that stops your opponents from tutoring. Cool, do this, and it forces them, because this is... Nope, they may. So yeah, basically blow up their non-basic lands, and they're not going to want to give you the basic lands, so... Audience with Strastani, create a 0 planet token, then draw a card equal number different named creature tokens you control. That card's boring for a rare. It should probably be an uncommon, in my opinion. Case of the Uneaten Feast. When a creature is about to control, you gain a life. To solve, you've gained 5 or more life this turn. If unsolved, at the beginning of your end step. Oh, okay. So to solve, it's a case. Basically, you do this, and it solves sacrifice case. Creature cards your graveyard gain. You may cast a card from your graveyard until end of turn. Wait, what? So I'm guessing you have to do this, then do this, and this in one turn. Ends the surgical spells you call spellless cast. To solve, you've cast 4 more spells this turn. Solve, draw a card. I don't know how this is gonna work. Cause is it like a saga where you do this and then you can accelerate it? Or do you... I don't understand this one. I'm gonna be honest, I don't. Alright, create black to solve, you control no suspected. Wait, what? How are you supposed to do this? Do you do this, then you have to do this in the second turn to do this? I don't know. So I'm guessing what happens is, because it looks like you... Alright, so you do this, you can accelerate to this, or you can get it on your end step, which means on your next turn you get to do these. I'm guessing that's what it means. When this case enters the battlefield, discard a card and then draw 2 cards. To solve, you have no cards in hand. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. That's boring. You play an additional land each of your turns. To control, you control 7 more lands. Well, this one's going to be easy to do. Solved. Look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play lands and cast creature and enchantment spells from the top of your library. Okay, so that one's going in Enchantress. Pretty good and simple. Unyielding Gatekeeper. His turn face up. Exile no land controller. Send battlefield tapped. Otherwise, the controller creates a 2/2. So. Okay, so 2 mana. You are exiling another non-land permanent, and its controller makes a 2/2. This is going to be busted. It's just another mono white removal spell, like Swords, Plowshares, and all that crap. Except it's 2 mana. Yeah, this card is way too good. This one is going to be a hit. We cast our spell, Investigate. Activate spells you control cast one that's cast. This effect can't reduce mana. It costs less than 1 mana to cast. Okay, so when you cast an RX spell, you make a clue token. It's going to basically say, 1, sack the clue, draw a card. More clue shenanigans. Hunted Bone Brute. This one I like. Enters battlefield, target opponent creates 2 1/1 white dog creature tokens. When it dies, each opponent loses 3 life. This is just a dumb... It shouldn't be a rare. This card should not be a rare. But I really think it's funny. It's like the Hunted Horror from back in the day. If anybody remembers that, it was basically 4 mana for a 7/7 with trample and protection from green. And basically you gave each of your opponents a 3/3 centaur. Funny card. I want to know what I did with mine. Lamplight Phoenix. When it dies, you exile it and collect evidence for it. If you do, return it to the battlefield tapped. So it's gonna just die repeatedly. And you have to exile stuff from your graveyard. That's a bad card. Don't play this card. Archdruid's Charm. Search the library for a creature or land card. Reveal it. Put in battlefield tapped. It's a land card. Otherwise, put it to your hand. Here we go. Basically, 3 green mana. Go get a creature from your deck. Put one counter target creature control. Deals damage against power to target creature you don't control. Exile a target artifact or enchantment. This is going to be a good card, though I don't like that art. There's going to be so many jokes about that art. Alright, I'm going to do this row, and then I'm probably going to cut the video, guys. So I'm going to do assemble the players. You may look at top card of the library anytime. Once each turn, you may cast a creature spell with 2 less from the top of your library. This one I like, especially if we're doing like a bunch of tinier creatures. All will soon be made clear, but I give you this. Our killer here with us in this very room. Proft. Cool. It's a like cheesy detective movie. When lost in the maze in its battlefield, tap X creatures. Put a stone counter on those creatures you don't control. Tapped creatures you control have hexproof. Indestructible in its battlefield, suspect it. To come under a player, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. When you deal damage, target opponent loses that much life. I'm guessing there's going to be cards that say unsuspect some stuff. But a 4 mana 1/1 indestructible when it's dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life is just too good. Yeah, that I really like that card. Fugitive Codebreaker, Prowess, Haste, Disguise is my region of source spell in your graveyard. Huh, that's neat. It's turn face up, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. Cool, Goblin Commander players. You're gonna want this. And Analyze the Pollen. Cast it, you may collect evidence 8. Search your library for a basic land card. If evidence was collected, search the library for a creature land card. Put it into your hand, then shuffle. Basically, exile something with total mana value 8, and you're going to get another creature and put it into your hand. I'm glad it doesn't say battlefield. Alright, guys. That's going to be it for this episode. We just did some cheap spoilers, but coming in again on our next episode, and we'll go down the list some more and see what pops up. Bye, guys. If you liked, please subscribe.